Good afternoon and welcome to News 10 at midday. Our coverage of Groundhog Day Winter Storm 2022 continues. We're in the midst of round 2 of this storm. Here's a live look in downtown Terre Haute. The snow continues to fall. Storm Team 10's Everett Lau will kick off our team coverage this afternoon. We'll also return to Vincennes, Indiana. You can see sleet bouncing off a car right now. News 10 Bureau Chief Gary Bryan will let us know how the storm is impacting our southern counties. We'll also walk you through how snowplow operations in Vigo County are going. And News 10's Heather Good will speak live with Indiana State Police about travel conditions coming up in just a few minutes. Good afternoon, I'm John Swanner. We'll also have more on how to report power outages. But first, let's get right over to Storm Team 10's Brady Hart with the latest on where this storm is right now. Good afternoon, Brady.
Good afternoon, John. You can see our storm tracker showing widespread heavy wintry precipitation. Mostly snow to the north, but like you saw in that live picture, sleet's falling farther to the south, Knox County, Vincennes area. More of a wintry mix down there, and it has been all morning long. So watch for ice accumulation as we move through the early morning. But you can see where the heavy snow is, that darker blue color. And again, we've seen snow accumulation all morning long. So anything you need to do outside over the course of this afternoon, and maybe you've been waiting, you've been putting off any outdoor plans for the snow to clear up. Maybe some bad news, the snow is going to continue for several more hours and is really going to continue through the end of the daylight hours. So just plan on rough travel conditions all day long. You see our storm tracker. The storm was trying to move to the northeast. It's moving slowly, and because it's moving so slowly, it's providing multiple inches of snow in several of our locations. And you can see down here southwest where it's coming from, more snow is on the way. And this is what I'm talking about. It's going to continue through the rest of this afternoon. We're in the lower 20s right now. Temperatures around 22 degrees. It's cold, but the thing is, temperatures are really not going to change significantly at all as we move through the day. Temperatures are going to at most get a little bit closer to the 20-degree line, but it's just going to get colder and colder after this winter storm leaves. So that's what you need to plan ahead for now. We are under a winter storm warning. Of course, you probably already know this, but I want to keep in mind, it's through tonight. So the timing is really what you need to pay attention to here. It gives you an idea of how long to expect these hazardous weather conditions. The winter storm warning continues through 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I would still expect some tricky travel through early morning tomorrow. Now, we begin team coverage with Storm Team 10's Everett Lau. He's live in downtown Terre Haute with more on what's happening outside right now. Everett, what's it like outside?
All right, Brady, it is snowy and cold out here in downtown. You can see the courthouse behind me. Vigo County Courthouse and the government offices are closed today as the roads are still kind of treacherous out there. We can kind of zoom over. This is Wabash Avenue looking towards 41. The snow plows have been out and about this morning, but the snow continues to fall. And it's a very light and fluffy snow today compared to yesterday when it was kind of a heavier wet snow. And that brings its own concerns because that means it's easier for the wind to blow around. And the wind has definitely picked up out here this afternoon, and it's going to continue through the evening hours. We could see some strong wind gusts. So in addition to the falling snow that's creating low visibility, blowing and drifting snow is also going to do that for you. So even if the snow stops, we're still going to have issues with visibility into the overnight hours as the temperatures continue to fall. So if you do have to be outside today, be sure to allow yourself a lot of extra time to travel. Use caution if you're traveling because a lot of the roads are snow packed out there. The plows have been going down, but they really can't keep up with the snow that is falling. And most of the main roadways are the main focus. So they'll be getting to the secondary roadways as we get later on into the afternoon. But for right now, the snow continues to fall here downtown. Still expecting it through the afternoon. And Vigo County remains under a travel watch. So for more, I'll send it back into the studio. Brady.
Thanks, Everett. Yeah, you can tell visibility is very low outside. You can barely see the courthouse in the background. Now let's take you south to the News 10 Bureau Chief Gary Bryan. He joins us live from Vincennes. A little bit of a different weather story down there. Gary, how are things in your area?
Brady, on camera and just looking outside your window, it may look like, that Vincennes might have been spared, but take a look at this. This is on my truck here. That is ice. All of this is ice. It's not snow. It's a good layer of sleet and freezing rain from all last night. And here on my truck here too, I can knock on that and that is just solid ice. So if your vehicle's been outside, has been sitting, it's going to have a layer of ice on it. I did get a chance to drive around town a little bit today. Roads are slick. If you're out driving in this, it may look like it's not a whole lot, but you got to drive these roads like there's 6-7 inches of snow on it because there's not a whole lot of traction. Now, snow is starting to begin here, as you can see, just in the last 10 minutes or so. Once it does start snowing, it's going to get on top of this ice and start compacting it, so be careful because this is going to get slicker as the night goes on. Also be watching for puddles from all that rain last night. Those puddles are going to freeze up and be a problem. So I have seen a lot of road crews out from city, county, and state. And yeah, it's just, it's not great weather. Stay home, folks. Live in Vincennes, Gary Bryan, back to you.
Thanks, Gary. I would take his advice. Yeah, that ice, wintry mix on top of or underneath all the snow that's falling right now will be a problem. Now, of course, snow plows, they've been out trying to clear this problem up all night and this morning, and they'll continue to be working into the afternoon. News 10's Tucker White spoke with the Vigo County Highway Department. Tucker, what did they have to say?
Well, yeah, Brady, like you know, I was out with the snowplow driver this morning and through 5 through 7. And it's just been snowing ever since. In fact, it's snowing even worse now. As you can see here, we are on the sidewalk, I promise you, but you cannot tell where the sidewalk ends and the road begins. Folks, if you need to travel today, I strongly encourage you to rethink those plans. And if you have to go out, drive safe, give yourself plenty of room in between you and the car in front of you. And if you see a snowplow coming, be sure to slow down, get over to the side if possible. Brady, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you.
Thanks, Tucker. The snow's still falling, creating rough road conditions. It's hard to tell where the lanes are at times. And as you heard, conditions on our local roads are going to continue to deteriorate as the snow continues to fall. And the same can be said for Interstate 70. News 10's Heather Good is live from the US 41 I-70 interchange with a special guest. Heather?
Hey Brady, that's right. I am live here right next to Interstate 70, and as you can see, that snow's blowing in right in our faces. I'm joined by Indiana State Police Sergeant Matt Ames. Thank you so much for making time for us. And you've been out since 5 this morning driving around. What's your assessment of the road conditions right now?
The roads are definitely snow and ice covered, and they're just deteriorating as the day goes along. And of course, that's going to be because the snow is still falling and with the wind blowing the snow back over it. INDOT's been out here all day and all night. They've been working very hard. Interstate 70, the normal driving lane is pretty well passable. However, you do got to drive at a reduced speed. The passing lane is still snow covered. And we just ask for people, if you do have to get out and travel today, make sure that you're ready to go. Make sure you have at least a half a tank of gas. You have some food, you got some necessities in your vehicle with you, and that you're driving with a lot of patience. And one thing that we continue to see up here on the interstate is people like to tailgate. Well, unfortunately, if you're tailgating and that individual in front of you or that motorist in front of you gets involved in an accident, it doesn't give you very much time to react to it. So please just don't tailgate. Just realize when you get traveling, you're going to have to be at a reduced speed and drive with a lot of patience.
Yeah, all good information there. You know, ISP has obviously been responding to accidents and slide-offs. About how many of those have you seen since the storm started yesterday evening?
We worked approximately 8 accidents, with 3 of those involving commercial motor vehicles, 15 slide-offs, and we've assisted 15 motorists out here as well. And a lot of those motorists are people that are running out of fuel, just like I spoke there earlier. Please make sure your vehicle's fueled up, ready to go, so that way if you do get stranded out there, you have to be there for 2 or 3 hours, you got warmth the entire time with your vehicle.
Yeah, you know, what is your assessment for traffic right now? Are you seeing a lot of people out driving in this, or are most people heeding those warnings and just staying home and off the roads?
Most of the local people are heeding the warnings. They're staying at home. We're starting to see a lot more commercial motor vehicle on the interstate right now. So the best advice we want to give everyone: stay home where it's nice and warm. Make sure that you're paying attention to us at ISP Putnamville, and of course watching WTHI for all the road updates.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for making time for us. We appreciate it. You can get back into the warm patrol car now and drive around some more to see what those conditions are like. Again, this is something we're going to be following for you throughout the evening here on News 10, and we'll have updates for you online as well. Live in Terre Haute, Heather Good, News 10.
All right, Heather, thank you very much, and get some cover from that snow and ice. Well, Duke Energy is ready to respond to power outages here in the Wabash Valley. Right now, there aren't any substantial outages being reported. This morning, we spoke with Terre Haute manager Rick Berger, and he said the Wabash Valley made it through the first round of this winter storm without any power outages, but crews are ready to go for round 2 underway right now.
Ice is still a concern, and what I mean by that, the roads are slick, poles are there, you know, we got those type of things. So much on the line, probably not.
1,500 additional line workers and support staff are in the Midwest to help deal with this storm. 300 extra workers are right here in Indiana. Well, if you lose power and you need a warm place to stay, the Homeless Council of the Wabash Valley and Reach Services will open a warming center tonight. The Weather Center will open today through Monday from 6 p.m. until 8 a.m. each day. You'll find the center at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church on North 7th Street. Dinner and breakfast will be provided. We have warming center information throughout the Wabash Valley posted on WTHI-TV.com. Vigo County Central Dispatch reminds everyone not to call 911 if your home loses power. You should make that call to your electric service provider like Duke Energy. In the event you become stranded on the roadway, the 911 director says to make yourself noticeable so help can find you.
This is not the first time. We deal with weather all the time, so my people are pretty good at their jobs and they know what to do and how to find resources to help people.
Vigo County 911 has 2 backup power supply systems in case of an emergency.